Hey guys, I come at you guys with a video on mindset and ownership and why it's one of the main qualities of any successful person that you'll ever meet. I was on the phone last night with a young man who has worked at many shops in the last 2 years, and he's a talented young man, but I think he said he's been through 5 or 6 stores in just 2.5 years. And he is obviously interested in working with us now. He's a very talented guy. Obviously, he knows what he's doing in the industry. And I said, well, so you're obviously very qualified, but I want to know what you're seeking, because clearly it isn't something that you're finding. Either the shop doesn't want you there, or you don't want to be at the shop. And currently he's at a shop. He's been there about a handful of weeks or so, and without getting into too much detail, because I don't want to give any personal information out, the point is he's not happy again. There's a big lesson here, right? What's going on, right? What's going on with so many people? Because here's the thing. He clearly is struggling. But the question is it because of him, or is it because of the world? Is it because of all these shops? Is it God? And that's the question that I think is a very important one. We spoke for almost 40 minutes. At the end, the question I said to him was, you're not getting paid what you'd like, you're not getting treated as you'd like, you're not able to get in life what you want, but is it because of the shops? Because if it's the shops, then is anybody at those shops getting what you want? And he sat and thought, and he said, there's people in those stores that made what I was trying to make, that have what I want, and they're in a place where I'd like to be. I said, well, clearly then it wasn't the opportunity that was bad, right? Because if it was the opportunity, I mean, nobody should be able to get those things. But somebody clearly has. There's an old funny saying that says, don't say that I'm only making so much at this opportunity because this is all it pays. Because if there's somebody getting more, that means this is not all that the opportunity pays. It's all the opportunity pays you. You got to sit there and think about, well, why is it that I am not getting all these things? Why not me, right? Why can't I be the guy that makes more? Why can't I be the guy that leads? Why can't I be the guy that has all of these things, that knows how to do these things, that has the character? Why not me? It's a very, very powerful question, if you are willing to answer it, honestly. And the truth is, if you sit on the side of your bed one day, either in the morning or late at night, and you just ask yourself that question, why not me? Why can't I be the guy that I look up to, or the girl? And if you're truly honest with yourself, all ego aside, the answers will come to you so fast, it's going to make you freak out. It's going to make you scared. If you're willing to listen. Because here's the truth, guys. Everything good and everything bad in your life is 100% because of you. And that's very well knowing that there's a God, that there's a plan, there's a destiny, there's a universe. But everything is still on you. And here's why. I'll tell you a rational reason for why. The reason why I wouldn't say it's 1% even on God, and I'll get to that, I still believe in God and that He has control over everything. But yet, I don't choose to blame my shortcomings and faults and sins, which means literally sin. The word means to miss the mark. All of my mistakes on something other than me, because here's why. Because if it's my fault, I can do something about it. If it's anyone else's fault, well, I'm screwed, because I can't change that. I don't control how the universe works. I don't control how anyone else works. The only thing I control is what goes on between these 2 ears and between these 2 shoulders. That's your best bet as far as I'm concerned. Because here's the thing. When you take ultimate responsibility, you also take ultimate authority. You can't have one without the other. And when you take no responsibility, you also give up all authority. Authority. The word authority comes from the word author. Author is to originate something. And you know what's funny? These people that are going around blaming everybody in the politics and president, which is a whole different funny discussion, they don't have any authority on their own lives. They're living here like they're in some prison that the system takes care of them. And they're going around, unfortunately, like sheep that are being shepherded by whatever thing that they believe is in charge. You can decide to be a sheep, or you can decide to be the shepherd. But it has to start with the sad reality, which is it's all on you. But it gets better from there, right? If you're willing to confront the ugly, which is, it's my fault, everything good is on the other side of that. It's just that it's like an ugly thing, but on the other side is very beautiful if you can just get past that first step. Everything's on me. Now let's get through it, and let's get on with it, because everything after that is beautiful. Guys, that's really the mindset. Everything starts with you looking yourself in the mirror and saying, all right, that's me. All of this is me. And then get to it and start making a plan. Start getting the mentorship. Start getting the education. And I'll give you a second step just to kind of guide you through this. When you start taking ownership, the first step after that, which is really the second step, it isn't to start doing something. Actually, it's most of the time you're going to have to stop doing stuff. You're going to have to start taking out what I've always called the sword of no, and just start cutting things out of your life. People, habits, institutions, just doing stuff that you're not proud of. And sit there and just talk about all the things to yourself. Oh, I'm smoking. I know I shouldn't be. Well, then stop. Right? It's not helping me. Stop. I shouldn't be watching that sort of stuff. I shouldn't be watching these movies. Shouldn't be watching Netflix. Stop. Just stop. I shouldn't be engaging with this group because every time I come home I feel dirty after talking with these guys because all they do is gossip and complain about life. Okay, stop. And it might not be everything at once that you would want to stop or could stop, but I promise you there's at least one thing that you should stop doing, that you would stop doing, that would clear your head just a little bit. Well, do that. First start with that. And then wait a few days, do the next one. And then the next one, and the next one. It might be a couple of months, but I promise you, you start stopping today, and you start stopping, eventually your life's going to get simpler. Things are going to become easier. Your vision's going to clarify. You're going to start seeing things a little more clearly. Your head's going to feel a little less crowded, and you're going to move a lot lighter. And then maybe you'll even start liking yourself a lot more. And when you do that, you'll be on a trajectory that's completely different. Do that for a few years, you might just be a different person. And do that for a decade, you might just change your life and the people around you. Guys, I've been on this journey for the better part of 7 years now. I started in a very dark place, I'd like to think. I was diagnosed with clinical depression, as some of you guys know, in my mid-20s. Was not in a good place, not surrounded by good people. And this alone, this mindset, this one thing of taking ownership and then start stopping has changed my life. And at this point, to be truthful, hundreds of people around me. And you know what? I do give all the credit to God, because I do think that He guides you if you're willing to take ownership. There's a lot of wisdom in all the scriptures about this as well. But promise you guys, start with taking ownership and then start stopping, and it'll change everything around you. I hope that helps. It's a mindset thing.